Hello, everyone. It's Ken Scott back with another episode of the Denied Entry USA show, a show that's for you and also for me, but no one else. Well, again, it's Ken Scott, Senior U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentryWaiverServices.com, and we're at 1-888-908-3841 or 604-332-9213. Well, we resolve all USA border crossing issues. We got 6 global locations, and we honestly like to focus, more so on the complex cases. We're not as concerned about a case where Willie, the warehouse worker in Winnipeg, steals a car, and then 10, 20 years later, he wants to enter USA, and Willie can barely afford $600. That's just for the government fee. So that's not the market that we cater to. We cater to more of the higher end type clientele. Anyway, guys, so what I want to do today was walk you through something that happened the other day. Long story short, we've had about 4 or 5 people or more last week that they almost went to discount waiver companies. They almost got bent over the table. They essentially almost got ripped off. And I warn you guys about this stuff. And just to tell you about a few of the cases, these people, we could find a way to get them auto-needing waivers. But luckily, they did not go through the discount waiver company and spend that money and lose it and then be stuck with a waiver for life. Because remember, if you have to get a waiver, you have to get it for the rest of your life. It's not a one-time thing. So, and a lot of these Batman Pardons Expert waiver type companies, they don't have a clue what the fuck they're doing. And then next thing you know, you are stuck for life, or your worst case, you get denied. And I say you don't need a waiver anyway. Anyway, I'm going to discuss a situation that popped up that prompted this video. This person had the code. First of all, there are many areas of inadmissibility, and we're going to touch upon it towards the end of the video. But this case, I want to go over the sworn statements. You guys already know what a sworn statement is when you go to the border and the guard's asking you all these questions and yada, yada, and you voluntarily give him this info because, after all, sworn statements are voluntary. Although some of you guys say you never knew that, but that's a different story. Anyway, so I'm gonna walk you kind of through a bit of the process. So when you go to the border, they have to, this is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to what they call Mirandize you. And that's American criminal law. So yada, yada. So this is the Miranda sheet that they will use or supposed to use. And good old Ken Scott's there. And my good old file number, my alien number for CBP. Oh, look, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What an interesting alien number. All right, so what the guard will do, get right into it. The guard's going to read you the statement. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you, yada, yada. Right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you ask questions. Cannot afford a lawyer. And again, this is from CBP, warning as to rights. And this is as if they were giving me this warning, which they're not. And then what they do at the end here, they have you sign. Remember, it's voluntary. The date and hour, the officer, he's actually gone. I know him. And they have a witness there. And it says right here, I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand what I'm doing. No promises or threats are made against me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind is being used against me. So you guys voluntarily sign this stuff and do this. You can't say I was not pressured, because here you're stating that you're not. And that's just the officer's name, yada, yada, which is fine. Okay, so now you guys know about the Miranda rights. So this is right before the sworn statement. So now let's get into the next topic. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this one for now. And this is what a sworn statement looks like. You guys should watch this video on your laptop, by the way. So it's what they go by: file number, event number, all the basic BS, mumbo jumbo, yada, yada, yada. Ask your name, correct name, truth, birth, place of birth, yada, yada, address. I won't bore you with the details. You guys get the picture. This one's about someone using marijuana, but just imagine this is for someone who they think is moving to the USA. So forget about the marijuana. Pretend this is for someone they think is moving to the USA, or someone who's at the border and they feel does not have the proper visa or documents to enter. And this ties into the people that we've gotten this week. This fell into this. So just pretend marijuana's not here. So they did a sworn statement just like this, yada, yada. And this is the code. Well, forget this is here. This is the code for criminality, but you guys don't have to worry about that for this video. All right, so let's shut this one off. Oops, oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to stop that. All right. Okay, now you already saw a sworn statement. You already saw the Miranda warning. This is the code I want to talk about today, 212A7A. Now, I'm going to hammer on you guys for a minute here. The vast majority of the people watching this video can read. And I'm assuming you know how to sign your name, and you know the alphabet goes from A to Z. Be aware of this code right here. This 212A7A is a code where they think you essentially are moving to the USA. You don't have the proper visa, or you don't have the proper documents to enter. This code right here, I'm going to say it and drum into the heads of some of you guys. You do not necessarily need a waiver if you have this code. Let me say it again. If you have this code, you do not necessarily need a waiver. And the thing is, these discount waiver companies, they don't fucking understand this, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, I love it because it's more business for us. They don't understand how these codes work. They don't understand all the parameters, the particulars for these cases, yada, yada. So these people I'm mentioning, they kept telling them, oh, you need a waiver, you need a waiver. They try to shove waivers down their throats. So they sent me the documents, I looked it over. And all 5 of the people, I said, you don't need waivers. So we can get this clear without a waiver in each case. So they came on board, which is great. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but it just troubled me because the fact that how many other people who are out there who get this particular code here and the guard says, oh, you need a waiver, you need a waiver. It's automatic. It's not automatic. Now, having said that, this code sometimes is in the 5-year bans, and the 5-year bans are deportation bans that require a waiver. I know I may have just confused some people, so people are going to say, well, Ken, do I need a waiver? Don't I need a waiver? But you know what? It depends. It depends on the case particulars. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I know, well, me, myself, and my guys, we know automatically whether you do or not within 15 seconds of hearing your story. These discount waiver companies don't. They don't understand these codes. They don't understand these parameters. They don't have the technical know-how like we do. They don't have the reference material that we use. And you guys already seen the reference material. I mean, no point me getting up, grabbing it. I'm looking at it. It's right over there. So, but remember, when you see this code, you do not necessarily need a waiver. Now, what could have happened with these people is the fact that if they had foolishly listened to these discount waiver companies, applied for a waiver where they did not need it, they would have screwed themselves, because what happens is when you do that, quite often they put stuff in the packet that actually hurts you. So you end up talking yourself into needing a waiver. And guys, a waiver is not a one-time thing. Well, for criminality and certain immigration violations, it's not a one-time thing. It could be for the rest of your life. So you guys, I know you guys don't do this work daily, so you won't really know this stuff. But you guys got to also exercise a bit of common sense here. The one thing that all 5 people had in common, though, when they had this code, every single one of them, they wanted to enter the USA same day, if not the next. So what the discount waiver company did, they capitalized on that desire to re-enter. And they said, oh, just do a waiver, just do a waiver, we'll get you in, no problem. 3 of the people almost bought that. 2 of the people just kind of balked on it because it sounded like BS. And I said, yeah, of course it's BS. By the way, guys, a waiver does not guarantee entry into the USA. So you're going to say, well, Ken, what guarantees entry? Nothing. That's the answer, 0. Nothing guarantees entry into the USA. Absolutely nothing. So it just depends on the case, because as a Canadian, the burden of proof is on you to prove that you are admissible to the USA and not on them. And with this code right here, it's kind of a bit of a catch-all where they can't get you for anything else. They'll toss you in this category. Then you have to know how to navigate and get out of this. If you don't, then you screw yourself. So just wanted to let you guys know that, because it ticked me off that these 5 people almost got screwed. And go figure, they're all Becky's. So I won't even tell you about those companies back there. You guys know what I think about them. Okay, so let's close that down. And then let's go ahead to some of the codes I want to go into. Okay, so these are various areas of inadmissibility. I'm not going to go over them with you guys in detail. I've done it before. So sometimes you need a waiver, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you need one for prostitution, sometimes you don't. And sometimes for this one, it's not necessarily lifetime. So it just really, really depends. Sometimes under this one, the crime does not need a waiver. It just really, really depends. Even under this one, there's nothing to do with a waiver, but if Biden goes ahead with his plan to have a mandatory policy where every Canadian entering the US must have a COVID vaccine, and you do not, they could deny you entry under this category, by the way. So it's already in the law. And I'm not even gonna touch upon this category. I want to show you that, okay, this one, they can turn you around as well. This one you cannot waive. There's a way to beat it, but it's not a waiver. This one's a lifetime one. It is what it is. Here we go. This is the 212.7a. And guys, this is what they do. They go to the system, and this is the statute that they go by. It's other stuff too, mind you, but this is the big one they go by. So if you get this 212.7a code, again, you do not necessarily need a waiver. Let me repeat that. If you have that code that I just pointed out there, you do not necessarily need a waiver. Let me say it one more time. If you have 212A7A, you do not necessarily need a waiver. It just depends. So guys, don't apply for a waiver unless you know you absolutely need it. You're gonna say, well, Ken, how do we know we absolutely need it? Well, I'm gonna give you the arrogant answer for that. Call us, we'll tell you. Because the thing is, one thing that we do that no other competitor will do, we try to save you guys money. And I've said that so many times, on here. If I can save someone some money for not needing a waiver, I will do it. So we've got the resources, the know-how, the expertise, yada, yada, all that babbling BS, to do that. These other places, they don't know what they're doing. So, but the good news is these videos are really getting out there. People are getting the message, hence is why they call. So that part makes me feel good inside, that the message is getting out there. And we've got something coming up soon to rectify, how can I say it, spreading the message even more to people regarding whether they need a waiver or not and other stuff. I won't go into too much detail right now, but that's what we're doing. So again, you guys, if you have that code, I'm gonna say it one more time, 212A7A, you may not necessarily need a waiver. If you have an overstay, you may or may not necessarily need a waiver, or waiver may or may not, or I should say waiver may or may not be filed, or should not be filed based upon your best interest. It really depends upon the situation. So the thing is, this work is very intricate. It's not just fill out a form like a monkey and you're done. Maybe if you're Willie the warehouse worker from Winnipeg, and then, you know, something like that, that's simple. But this complex stuff, you guys really need to stop and think. And what I'm finding out is and again, it's not always, some people are doing, they're focusing more on costs than quality. They say, okay, well, it's cheaper, I'll do this. You guys got to get, for the people who fall into that category, you have to get out of that mindset. The cost should be irrelevant. The thing is, you need to focus on quality. Like, for example, we had another guy, he's coming in. He went to a discount waiver company, and he told me yesterday that apparently they gave him a bunch of forms to fill out. And they said, you know, fill this out, this out, this out, do this, do this, do this. So he said to them, well, why the hell am I paying you for it? Oh, we're going to put this together for you. He said, but I'm doing all the work here. They did not have an answer for him. So I looked at his case. I said, why are you doing all this? He said, well, they told me to. I said, you know what? I said, that's one of the things that separates us from the others, from the competitors, because we do 95% of everything. The client does very little work whatsoever. So letters of reference, the rehabilitation we develop, letter of explanation, the strategy, the presentation, we do everything. And for the higher end people, we take you down to the border and by style in one of our limos. So kind of a new thing that we started, and that's actually going really well, the limo program. So but yeah, everything's going really well. The London office is busy. The BC office is busy. We got Vancouver, Surrey, and Burnaby. We've also got Washington State, and we've got Estonia. And Friday, we had a very, how can I say it? A very respectable, well-known, talented gentleman came in. And me and the Surrey manager, we decided that we're going to bring him on board as well. And we're going to open up 2 or 3 more locations. And more about that coming in the near future. I'm working out some logistics about that. This individual, he's well respected. He's very famous in the community. He's actually very famous, literally, in all of Canada. And that's about as far as I'll go explaining that. So guys, anyway, yeah, so that was a quick video for today. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys, but I just had to put this out there because we're always there for you guys to make sure that you get everything done for you that's, only in your best interest. It really just pains me to see people get screwed by these cheap companies, because you guys deserve better than that. I mean, you guys, you're working hard for your hard-earned money. Doesn't make any sense to give it to Batman's Expert's Waiver Pardons just, keep his lights on, when you may not even have to do it. You may not even need a waiver, or for your waiver to come back denied. So, oh, it was one thing. I was just right. I forgot what I was going to. Let me find it here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's not up here now. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's glad. It's a good thing it's not up there. The reason why I say that is because the fact that I was going to show you guys what some of the adjudication sheets look like from CBP. The adjudication sheets, basically, these are sheets that the government uses, or material the government uses to decide whether they're going to approve a waiver or disapprove it. So basically with us, when the packets come in, we have to make sure that all those boxes are ticked off and checked, yada, yada. It's a bit of a complex formula they use, but we've got the actual formula. And actually, now that I think about it, maybe it's good I did not show it here, because discount waiver companies, if they saw that, they might try to just use that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But yeah, anyway, so no, that secret's fine. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys. It's a quick video. It's mainly for the people who have the code 212A7A. And just to let you know, again, you may or may not need a waiver. And that's really almost any case, but more so that case. So when you guys do these sworn statements and get turned around at the border with these documents, call us at 1-888-908-3841 or 604-332-9213, and let us do an assessment and let you know if you need it or don't need it. And if you don't need it, great. If you need it, we'll put together the best possible case in your favor to ensure that you win. We're still sitting at a 98 to 99% success rate, so that part's fine. We just can't get that out there 100% success rate. So obviously we're at the high 99 point, I don't know, like 0.6%. We just can't seem to get that 100%. So, but hopefully within the next, I don't know, next 3 or 4 months, that will change where we're at 100% success rate. And we do, guys, that's major bragging rights. That rate is higher than even the high-end LA firms we work with. So, but I won't talk too much about that because there's an individual at the firm there. She does not like me for some reason. Well, I know why she doesn't like me. But anyway, I won't bore you guys with any petty gossip. So again, it's Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst at www.usentryWaiverServices.com. And we're at 1-888-908-3841 or 604-332-9213. And check us out on YouTube. If you go to our website, find the YouTube icon, then go ahead and just click on our page and follow the videos we post. But obviously, if you're watching the videos, you already know this stuff. So anyway, so in the words of my Vulcan colleague, live long and prosper.